Hello friends, we start with our next problem solving session. In my last video, we have covered Thevenin's and Norton's equivalent theorem concept, and now we start with our problem solving sessions for Thevenin's as well as Norton. Before going for this session, if you have till date not subscribed and share my channel to your friends, please do it. Please subscribe my channel, because once you subscribe, it will be more easy for you to go through my all videos in a sequential manner, and one can easily able to understand this subject. Okay, and the link of my previous video is already mentioned in my description box. You can go through one by one. Okay, so we start with our problem solving session. So this is our first problem, and in this problem you have to find the value of VTH and RTH. All the independent source goes off. So this is your independent source, that is V1, and these two are the dependent source. So now you see I am redrawing this network here. So what will happen? This will get short circuited. This V1 gets short circuited. Another dependent source, that is AV1. Okay, this is 1 ohm. This is 1 ohm. Here is the current I1, and this is your dependent source of value BI1. This is 1 ohm, and this is AB. Okay, now as I said, V1 goes 0. V1 goes 0. That means, please keep in mind, this is an independent source, but the value of this source, the value of this source is basically depend upon this value, that is V1. So once it goes 0, and if it is a voltage source, this is a voltage source, this is also a voltage source, the only thing is this is a dependent voltage source. Okay, so whenever we are talking about the dependent voltage source, the value of V1 here is goes 0, so this also goes 0, so this source get short circuited. Okay, this source get short circuited. So once again I am redrawing this network here. So this network comes to be what? This is in this fashion. Again, this is short circuited. Here is your resistance 1 ohm. This is also get short circuited. Okay, and here is your, this is what, BI1. Here is your resistance 1 ohm. Okay, this is 1 ohm, this is 1 ohm, this is the current I1, and here is your terminal AB. And since we are finding the value of RTH, as I said earlier, I will consider here as a voltage source V theta, which generates a current I theta, and if you find RTH, that comes to be V theta by I theta. So the ratio of V theta by I theta is basically what? Your RTH, which we have to find in this network. Okay, so from here we will find the value of RTH. Okay, so if you see, this current I1 is flowing here, this current I theta is coming here. So can you say I1 plus I theta is the current here? Yes, this I1 is coming here, this I theta is coming here. So what is the current here? This is I1 plus I theta. Now now another important thing here to understand is, some people say, can we solve this? Because it is a parallel combination of two 1 ohm resistance. So for solving this network, can we solve this parallel combination? Absolutely not. Okay, you cannot solve the parallel combination of these 1 ohm resistor. The reason is, if you solve this parallel combination and the value of I1 which is given here is somewhere dependent here. Okay, so if you solve it, then the significance of I1 will lost, and once the significance of I1 is not there, you cannot correlate the value of I1 in the network. Okay, it means finally you can say you cannot able to find that interdependency relation in the circuit, and once it is not available, one cannot able to find the particular solution of RTH. So this is very important thing. You will see sometimes in conversion of either current sources, either voltage sources. So if that value is depend in the circuit somewhere else, so please don't convert it, or you can say please don't transform it. So you cannot solve this. Just for simplifying the network, you cannot solve this. So this is important concept here. Keep in mind, you cannot solve this. Okay. So here is the I1 and this is your I theta, and what is the current enters here is I1 plus of I theta. Very important thing. Okay. Now if I apply a law of KVL here and here, say it is 1, say it is 2, so yes, you can easily find the value of V theta by I theta. We will see how we find. Now we will find the value of V theta by I theta. First we apply law here, that is KVL law. So now you see we are moving in this fashion. So all the voltage source, so first voltage source is your V theta, so minus 2 plus V theta, again minus 2 plus, because we are moving in this fashion, so this comes to be B I1. Okay. Now there is no voltage source, that is equal to the current flowing in this resistance is I theta into 1. Okay, and when you come here again it is I1 plus of I theta into 1. So yes, you can say this is your first equation. This is your first equation. So you can easily write it as V theta, that is equal to, take I1 as common. So how much it is? That comes to be 1 minus of B, okay, plus of 2 of I theta. So this is the value of V theta. So if you find the value of I1, one can easily find the relation between V theta and I theta. Now please see, we will find the value of the relation between I1 and I theta. We will apply this second law. This is for first, this is for second. So once we apply a KVL law here, there is no voltage source, so 0, that should be equal to the current flowing in 1 ohm resistance plus the current flowing in this resistance, that is I1 plus of I theta into 1 ohm. Okay. So you can say 2 of I1 is equal to minus of I theta. Yes. And the value of I1 comes to be minus of I theta by 2. This is the value of I1, and simply we will put this value here. So it comes to be what? That is V theta is equal to this value we are going to put here. So V theta is equal to the value of I1. I can directly write it as B minus of 1 upon 2 into I theta plus of 2 I theta. Should I write in this manner? Yes. Simply I have changed the direction, that is minus, I have put it here, so it becomes B minus 1 upon 2 into I theta. Now we'll solve this and find the value of V theta by I theta. Okay. So take I theta as common. So that comes to be what? That is B minus of 1 plus of 4, okay, divided by 2. So that comes to be 3 plus B upon 2 into I theta. This is your V theta. So one can say V theta by I theta, that is RTH, is what? Is 3 plus B by 2. This is the value. This is the value. So V theta by I theta, that is RTH, is what? 3 plus B by 2. Very important thing. Okay. So just by repeating the video, try to understand very important concept which I have already explained you in green color. Okay, that is more important. Now this is all about your RTH. We come to finding the value of VTH. We will write this value RTH somewhere here. Okay, just keep in mind. Now we find the value of VTH. We find the value of VOC, that is open circuit voltage. Now please see how we find the value of VOC. As I said, open circuit voltage is the voltage across these two terminals. So it is plus, it is minus. Okay. So now important thing is, when these two terminals are open circuited, no current enters here. So whatever the current here I, you can say it is 0 ampere. Why? Because it is open circuit. So this current I1 will enter in this branch, and the current here is also what? I1. Very important thing. Okay. So should I apply a law of KVL in this direction? Yes. So if I apply here, so that VOC, that is your open circuit voltage, -2 plus VOC, then -2 plus this comes to be B I1, then +2 minus this comes to be what? It is minus of AV1, that is equal to, there is no current in this resistance, and what is the current here is I1. So you can write it as 1 into I1. So from here you can say the value of VOC comes to be AV1 plus of, take I1 as common, that comes to be 1 minus of B. So this is the value of your open circuit voltage, that is AV1 plus I1, 1 minus of B. Now whatever your open circuit voltage, it is in the form of independent source present in the network. So if you see, V1 is your independent source. V1 is your independent source. Very important thing, V1 is your independent source. So you have to find the value of VOC in terms of V1. Okay. So should I apply one KVL here? Yes. The first one which we have applied was this, and another one is this. Okay. So if I apply a law of KVL here, we'll see the equation comes to be what in this fashion. So it is -2 plus V1, here I am applying, and -2 plus 2 minus, that is minus of AV1, that should be equal to the current flowing in this resistance is I1 into 1 plus the current flowing in this resistance is again I1 into 1. The same current will flow. Why? Because it is open circuited. Since it is open circuited, the same current will flow. So you can say, take V1 as common, that comes to be 1 minus of A, that is 2 of I1, or you can say V1 is equal to 2 of I1 upon 1 minus of A. So this you can put here, and one can find the value of this we have find in terms of V1. So you can write here the value of I1 is equal to V1 into 1 minus A divided by 2. Yes, this you can put in this equation. So from here you can say VOC is equal to what? That is AV1 plus of 1 minus of A into 1 minus of P divided by 2 into V1. Or you take V1 as common, that comes to be what? It is twice of A plus of 1 minus of A minus of B plus of AB, and it is divided by 2. Okay. So finally you can say the value of VOC comes to be V1 into the value of VOC, that is V1 is what? It is 1 plus of A minus of B plus of AB divided by 2. Okay. So this is your answer for VOC. So yes, we have find VOC, that is your, you also say it is your VTH, that is Thevenin's voltage. Why? Because it is a open circuit voltage, so it is a Thevenin's voltage, and one can find the value of RTH also. So can we draw an equivalent circuit here? This. So this was your terminal AB. Now this is your Thevenin's resistance RTH, and here is the voltage, that is VTH, which is what basically VOC. So now you have converted this entire complex network into this network. Okay, the value of VTH is here, which is given, and RTH, which we have already find. So finally, as I said earlier in our previous video, that theorems is used to solve a complex network into a simplified network. So we have solved this complex network into this network with RTH is resistance and VTH, that is VOC, open circuit voltage, and now this is your terminal AB. Now if you connect across this terminal any current, any voltage, any resistance or whatever the load, either it is a inductive or a capacitive load, one can easily find the current across the load. Okay, so this is all about this question. We move on with the next problem. Okay, now friends, this is your next problem. In this problem you have to find the value of VTH and RTH. Actually it was a 1 mark question in GATE in which they just asked only about the RTH. Okay, but we will see VTH as well as RTH for this problem and we'll see how we find. Okay, so first of all we find RTH as per our concept. So for finding out the RTH I am redrawing this network. So as I said earlier, all the independent sources goes off. So this is a current source. So your current source will goes open circuited. Okay, and voltage source goes short circuited as we have discussed earlier. So once we redraw this network, so this network comes to be what? It is in this fashion. See, this is your voltage source. Since it is a dependent source, so it is remain as it is here with the dependency mentioned in this branch, and this is your 10 ohm resistance. Here it is 2 ohm resistance, and this is your terminal. This is your terminal what? AB. Okay, and now what I am doing here, I am connecting one source, that is V theta, having current I theta. Now one can able to find RTH with the ratio of V theta upon I theta. Okay, so should I apply a law of KVL here? Yes, I can apply it, but here the important thing is you will see your I theta and I1 are same, that is equal. Why? Because it is flowing in the same branch. So you can say I theta and I1 is same. So simply if you apply here, so you can say V theta, another voltage source 3 of I1. Okay, and if you see for the timing the current flowing is I1, so it is 2 plus 10 because both resistance are in series, so that comes to be 12 of I1. So from here you can say V theta is equal to 15 of I1, and as I said the value of I1 and I theta is equal, so it comes to be 15 of I theta. So V theta upon I theta, that comes to be your Thevenin's resistance, comes to be what? It is 15 ohm. Very important. So you can easily able to solve this problem just by applying a very easiest concept of finding out the Thevenin's equivalent resistance. Okay, here again one more time I am explaining you, this is a independent source goes off in the network, and whenever independent source, that is current, if it is a current source it get open circuited, if it is a voltage source it get short circuited. So since it is a current source which is independent in nature, get open circuited, and open circuited it means you may draw in this manner also, this is open circuited. Okay, so finally you can say there is no existence of this branch. I have just redraw for your understanding. So no current will enter here, whatever the current will enter here is flowing in this manner. Okay, so just by applying the law of KVL one can easily able to solve the value of V theta by I theta. Okay, now we find the value of VTH. Here we find the value of VTH. Now when we have to find the value of VTH, or you can say it is VOC. Okay, this is an open circuit voltage. Now once again, if this is an open, so this 5 ampere current will entirely flow in this direction. Okay, please see, this 5 ampere current will flow here itself. So you can say the value of I1 for this situation is what? It is 5 ampere. What it is? 5 ampere. You can say the value of I1 is what? It is 5 ampere. So just applying law of KVL here. So it is minus to plus, that is VOC, or you can say VTH. Okay, minus to plus VTH minus of 3I1. Okay, that should be equal to, there is no current in this 2 ohm resistance. Whatever the current is flowing is in 10 ohm resistance comes to be 10 into I1. So here you can say VTH is equal to 10 and 3, that is 13 of I1. And you know the value of I1 is what? That is 5 ampere. So one can say the value of VTH comes to be 13 into 5. So that comes to be 65 volt. So this is the value of your open circuit voltage or Thevenin's voltage, that is 65 volt. So with this we have solved this problem and we have find the value of VTH. Okay, this question was asked in GATE. Now we go for next problem. So friends, this is our next problem. This problem was asked in GATE 2020. I think it was a 2-mark question in which you have to find the value of VTH. You have to find the value of VTH. Okay. So now we will see here how we find the value of VTH for this particular network. So now before going for solving such type of problem, see, if you start just solving these problem through a conventional procedures, so it will take much of your time, and as we know we have a very limited time, so we have to apply smart techniques here to solve such type of networks. So as I said, we'll see here it is a current source in parallel with resistance. Here also we'll see here a current source in parallel with resistance. So if you apply a source transformation technique here, if you apply a source transformation technique here for this and similarly for this, so we'll see the networks will get resolved, okay, and it will get simplified and one can easily able to solve the value of VTH. So we'll see how. If I convert this, please see, this comes to be as per our source transformation, which I have already discussed with you. Once again I will show here. If there is a current source and if there is a resistance, this is your current source, say I, this is your resistance R with this terminal AB. So it can be converted into a resistance with series voltage source. So this resistance remains your R, but this voltage source will become V, that is IR with this terminal A and B. The same technique I am applying here. So if it is a 1 ampere current source and if it is a 1 ohm resistance, so product of this comes to be 1 volt and this remains 1 ampere. Okay. Further, here is another source connected, that is 2 volt. This is 2 ohm. Here also I am solving this and I make this as a transformation. Very important thing, just keep in your mind the direction of the current. If it is in this manner, the direction of the voltage sources remain in this manner. Okay, so just very important thing is the direction of the source. Now this is your 2 ohm, this 2 comes to be 4 volt. Very simple. Okay, and here is your another resistance, this is 4 ohm, and now this is your VTH. Okay, now you have to find the value of VTH. Now the another important thing here is, again this is an open circuit voltage VTH, it means this is an open circuit branch, so no current will enter here, whatever the I here is what, 0. Okay, so you can directly say that this VTH will appear here. Yes, you can say, since there is no drop in this 4 ohm resistance, you can say this VTH will appear at this node. Very important concept. Okay, so if this VTH appear here, this VTH will appear here over this node. So can you directly apply the law of KCL here? Here what I am applying? KCL, that is nodal analysis. If I apply KCL here, one can easily solve the problem. Okay, one can easily solve the problem. We'll see how. Now see here, I am applying law of KCL at this node. So whatever the current here, the algebraic sum remains 0. So algebraic sum here already it is 0. So I can say the algebraic sum of these two current is 0. So we can able to find the value of VTH. Now you see I am applying here. So what it is, the voltage here is VTH. So it comes to be, now you see the nodal equation, that is VTH minus 2 plus minus 2 volt minus 1 upon, now there is no voltage source up to here. So it is 2 plus 1 comes to be 3 ohm. Okay, plus of, this is VTH minus of 4 and divided by 2, that is equal to what? 0. That is equal to what? 0. Okay, from here I have just mentioned this equation. Once again please see, VTH minus of 2 minus of 1 and it is a ground terminal. So VTH minus of 2 minus of 1 is the total voltage divided by whatever the resistance, that is 2 plus 1, that comes to be 3, is the current which is flowing in this branch. Okay, similarly if I apply a nodal analysis for this particular branch, so it is what? It is VTH minus of 4, this is a ground terminal, so you can say the total voltage is VTH minus of 4 divided by the resistance 2 ohm is the current which is flowing in this branch, and there is no current in this branch. So this is our KVL. So can you find the value of VTH? Yes, very easily we can find the value of VTH just by simplifying it. I should multiply the value of 6 to for both the terms. So that comes to be 3 into VTH minus of 3 plus 2 into, not 3, it is 2 and it is 3. Okay, so it is 2 into VTH and it is 3 into VTH minus of 4, that comes to be 0. Okay, so that comes to be 5 of VTH is equal to 6 plus of 12, that is 18. It is 5 of VTH. So VTH is what? That is 18 by 5, that comes to be how much? It is 3.6 volt. This is the value of VTH. So we have just by, first we have converted these parallel current source with resistance into a voltage source in series with the resistance. These two transformation, very simple. And then considering the concept of KCL, by considering that since it is an open circuit terminal, so no current will enter here, one can easily apply the law of KCL and in 1 to 2 step you can find the value of VTH. So this is your final answer. The question was asked in GATE 2 marks question. Okay, now we move on with the next problem. Now friends, this is our next problem in which you have to find the value of VTH. This was again GATE question asked in electrical engineering part. Okay, and was a 1 mark question. So we will see how we find the value of VTH. So as I said, VTH is what? Is a open circuit voltage across this terminal. So once it is open circuit, that means no current will flow here. Very important thing. That means no current will flow here. So now the question comes to how you find the value of VTH. See, very important thing, if no current will flow here, it means what is the voltage here? What is the voltage at this node? This node, the voltage is what? It is VTH. Yes, because in this branch current is what? It is 0. So you can say that the potential at this node is what? It is VTH. Similarly, if you see, this 4 volt is appearing between these two nodes. Okay, 4 volt is the voltage appearing between these two nodes. Okay, these two nodes. So it means here the voltage is what? 4 volt. So at this node the voltage is what? It is 4 volt. Can you say yes? The voltage at this node is what? 4 volt. So can you directly apply a KCL at this node? So what I am doing, I am applying KCL at this node. Okay, I am applying KCL at this node. So that comes to be what? Law of KCL. So that comes to be what? That is VTH minus of 4 divided by 2 ohm. This current is coming towards the node, so that comes to be minus of 5 ampere. That should be equal to what? 0. Why? Because see, VTH minus of the potential is what? That is 4 volt. So VTH minus of 4 divided by 2 is the current which is flowing here, and here is the current is what? 5 ampere, which is coming towards the nodes. So that comes to be minus of 5, and there is no current. So you can say we have simply apply the algebraic sum of current at a node is 0, and the same concept I have applied here. So now can you able to find the value of VTH? Yes, the value of VTH comes to be how much? It is VTH minus of 4, that comes to be 10, or you can say VTH is equal to 14 volt. Okay, so again you will see very simple problem, and we have solved it. So the only thing you have to just keep in mind, you have to apply the concepts. If you start solving this network through our conventional method by considering current in the branches and then start solving super mesh and super node, okay, one can able to find the answer, but it takes time and your other problems will get affected. So in this type of problem, you just keep in your mind, try to apply the concepts. This 4 volt appear here, it means it is between these two nodes. So simply by applying KCL law, you can find the value of VTH. Okay, so we move on with the next problem. Now friends, this is our next problem. Again we have to find the value of RTH and VTH. Okay, so this is some kind of model of a transistor. In your EDC and in your ADC, you have seen when you have to solve a transistor, what you will do, you will convert a transistor into a model. So it is some kind of model. So in this question, you have to find the value of RTH as well as VTH. Basically, it was the question that this question was asked in ISRO. ISRO, there used to be certain examination for ISRO, DRDO, bar. So in ISRO, this question was asked, and they have asked the value of RTH. What is the value of RTH at this terminal AB? Okay, so we will see how we find the value of RTH. As I said earlier, for finding out the Thevenin's resistance, all the independent source goes off. So this 6 volt source gets short circuited. So if I redraw this network, so now if you see, when this gets short circuited 6 volt, because it is a voltage source, here is the current I0, and again here is a dependent current source of 20 I0. Now very important thing, please see, this current I0 is flowing, but because of there is no voltage source in this entire mesh, can you say you cannot able to determine the value of I0, or you can say it is what? It is 0 ampere. Yes, you can say it is 0 ampere, because since when there is no source, there does not exist any current. Physically, you can say there is no existence of this entire mesh. So when I0 goes 0, it means this current source goes open circuited. Very important. This current source get open circuited. So if it is got open circuited, that means this entire network has no existence. Okay, so your again I will redraw this network. So simply it comes to be what? This is your actual network. Yes, this is your V theta, this is your I theta, and this is 2k. This is AB. So you can say V theta by I theta, that is RTH, is equal to twice of k. Very simple. So this is your Thevenin's resistance for this network. Just try to understand the thing that when no voltage source exists, that means no current. When no current, this dependent source got open circuited. and once it is open circuited, that means this is your final network. So one can easily find the value of V theta by I theta, that is RTH, comes to be how much? Is 2k ohm. Okay, so with that we have find the value of RTH. Now we find the value of VTH also for this specific network. Now when we find the value of VTH, so you can say it is an open circuit voltage VTH which is appearing here. So very important thing, please see, when this is an open circuit voltage, that means no current will flow here. Whatever the current here is what, 0. So this 20 I naught current will simply flow in this manner. This 20 I naught, this current will simply flow in this manner, and here is the I naught which is flowing. So by applying KVL here and here, say it is 1, it is 2, one can easily able to find the answer. So I am applying here. If I apply here, it is minus 2 plus, that is VTH, that is equal to, since no voltage source, so it comes to be what? That is minus of 20 I naught. Why? Because this current is flowing in this manner and you are moving in this fashion. So that comes to be 20 I naught into 2 of k, or you can say it is minus of 40k into I naught, or you can say it is minus of 40 I naught into, here I will write it as 10 to power 3. Should I write? Yes, minus of 40 I naught into 10 to power 3. This is the value of VTH. Now we have to find the value of I naught. Say this is your first. Now when we have to find the value of I naught, I am applying KVL in this mesh. So that comes to be again minus 2 plus 6 is equal to, here I am writing 6 is equal to 3 into 10 to power 3 into I naught. So the value of I naught comes to be 2 into 10 to power minus 3 ampere. Yes, this is the value of I naught. So from here we will put this value here. So VTH comes to be minus of 40 into 2 into 10 to power minus 3 into 10 to power 3. So that comes to be minus of 80 volt. This is the value of VTH. So one can easily able to find the value of VTH just by applying these concept. Okay.